Hey guys, before we start, just want to give a huge shout out to GoTime. With no missions or limits to worry about, GoTime Bank offers a 5% per annum interest rate. Hashtag it's GoTime for simple, sustainable, and secure savings. Hashtag simply 5 savings with GoTime. Download the GoTime Bank app to open an account today. Hey guys, welcome back to Small Talk, small conversations with huge impact. My name is Alec Cuenca. I am your host and maraming salamat sa patuloy na suporta sa pag-click nito. Thank you so much for being here. I'm super excited for this episode because today's episode is a special episode. And I know I say that a lot, but this is really a special episode because I'm with someone that I have been looking up to, lalo na pagdating sa creative side. This person is one of the best minds I have ever talked to. And nandito kami ngayon sa studio niya. As you may know, we're doing like a studio tour with the other episodes then. But nandito kami ngayon and I am now, akala ko dati mahilig na ako magbasa, guys. Pero nung pagdating ko dito sa bahay niya, grabe yung dami ng libro. But this person is now one of the best brand strategists and creative entrepreneurs here in the Philippines. And I'm just super honored to welcome on the show, Kia Abrera.
Thank you so much. Medyo marami nga akong libro dito. But it's good to have you here. This is our home, by the way, everybody. So, welcome to my home. And thank you for inviting me to your show.
Yes.
Which is your home naman.
This is my home there and this is your home. Thank you so much for allowing us to be here and thank you for the coffee as well. Sobrang na-enjoy ko siya. Ang sarap ng kape. So maraming salamat. And
of course.
I was super excited nung nalaman ko na nung nakita kita sa event ng YouTube. Sa YouTube Shorts.
Yeah.
And nung nakita kita, parang alam mo yung ito yung feeling ko parang nakita ko ng kaibigan na ang dami nating chika, ang dami nating pag-uusapan pero oh my gosh, buti nagkita na tayo, parang marami tayong pag-uusapan, di ba? And I wanna talk about a lot of things, but I think one of the biggest kind of shifts that I'm seeing from you, especially online, well, before naman na ginagawa mo to, but now you're really out there full-blown as a creative entrepreneur, right? And maybe for also the people who are not aware of your story and who you are, maybe you can introduce yourself and kind of share din what's been your story of na ngayon na napunta ka na sa isang creative entrepreneur.
Well, here kasi in the Philippines, when we say creative entrepreneur, parang, hindi siya ganun ka. People are not very familiar with the term. So usually when we look at the term creative entrepreneur, nakikita natin yung associated sa kanya is freelancer or kung ano man siya in the industry per se. Example, video editor, graphic designer, yung mga ganon. So anything in the creative industry. I like to term it as creative entrepreneur because you're an entrepreneur because you solve people's problems.
Okay.
You're creative because, well, as human beings, we are innately creative. That's what I believe. Nag-start ako sa creativity na part. It's because I was exposed to creativity at a very young age. My mom was working at the CCP. My dad was a choral singer also. Kaya napunta rin ako sa path na yon. So parang as a youngster, as a toddler, as a kid, I was exposed to reading a lot of books. Nung grade 2 ako, people were going to the playground. I was going to the library.
What?
Ganun ako. Ganun ako. And then, when I was in 4th grade, I would, parang people would boast about the latest anime shows. I think hindi ko alam kung yun yung kasagsagan ng Pokemon. Na, tapos mga Fushigi-Yugi, mga ganun yung pinag-uusapan nila. I was like, I just watched Miss Saigon.
Hey guys, friends, hindi ba kayo nakarelate? I just watched...
Wait, Miss Saigon, guys, don't get that this is a big deal, like Miss Saigon. Ganun. So, hindi, parang, not a lot of people could relate to the things that I was interested in. Pero very early on, I developed a liking for writing. I developed a liking for performing and singing, for public speaking. So, yung mga public speaking natin, nung mga times na elementary tayo, yan yung mga declamation, di ba? Yung mga ganyan. Yan yung mga best in participation ako sa mga ganyan. So, I was given kasi like a playground for me to explore everything, like every creative thing that I could touch.
Wow.
So, naging magandang factor din na yung parents ko, they did not push me in one direction. Ang ginawa nila is they let me explore like the different things that I could touch, and then parang ginaid nila ako so I can make an informed decision on the path that I wanted to take.
Wow.
So, nung college, nung choose ako ng course, of course, everybody, almost like 95% of my class were being pushed in the direction of nursing.
Nursing, yeah.
Kasi, yung sa kanila, mag-study ka, work hard, go abroad.
Mm-hmm.
The greener pastures, So, nung tinanong kami sa class, sino dito magna-nursing? 95% of the hands shot up.
Mm-hmm.
But, nung tinanong ko yung ibang mga classmates ko, gusto mo ba talaga mag-nursing? Actually, gusto ko mag-fashion designer. Actually, gusto ko maging director. Pero kasi gusto ni mama mag-nursing ako kasi sure yun. So, parang ako, I did not want to seem like it's so ignorant of me to na, bakit ganun? You should follow your passion. Ganun, no? Tayo na yung sobrang ignorant ko. As a parent now, I understand things more. But, going into entrepreneurship, syempre, ang dami ko ring ang dami kong in-explore din, even as a career path.
And as an entrepreneur, when was the time na nag-start ka naman?
Na yun? That I had about 8 years already of experience as an employee. So, nag-start ako with being an employee first. Kasi doon naman after I graduated, naging marketing officer ako for a modeling agency. And then, it's actually modeling school pa nga siya, hindi siya modeling agency. And then, I became an SEO editor. Naging copywriter ako.
Okay.
Kasi, so anything that had to do with writing, naghahanap ako. Okay. Writing and advertising. So, nakuha ko yun sa copywriting sa isang ahensya. And then, after copywriting, I went on tour with a choir. After I came back to the Philippines, naging account manager na ako. So, account executive and then account manager, that's when I learned like the system side of the creative industry, the creative business, the advertising agency. So, yun yung naging last ko na employment before becoming an entrepreneur.
Sorry,
full-time.
accounts manager. Ano ginagawa ng accounts manager?
So, basically, ang accounts manager, kami yung nagmamanage ng project.
Okay.
So, parang project manager / account manager. So, ang ginagawa namin is nagli-liaison kami with the client and the creatives, the people who are going to execute. So,
okay.
We make sure that everything is smooth from start to finish, na ko-communicate namin yung revisions, na ko-communicate namin yung brief very well from the creatives to the client and the client back to the creatives. So, doon ako natuto ng relationship management with clients. I learned how to talk to them. I learned how to close them. Yung ganon. So, maraming skill sets yung kailangan mo to do that. So, sabi ko, since natutunan ko na yung writing side, natutunan ko na yung creative skill, why not venture naman into learning the business side of things? That's what I learned after I became a project manager, kasi may facets pala ng isang creative skill na kailangan mong matutunan in order to to make this into a business.
Ang nakikita ko parang nagpapatong-patong yung skills mo up until ma-reach mo yung level na pwede ka nang mag-business. Parang ganun.
Oo. And even then, actually, parang I feel like that was the bare minimum that I needed. So, nung nag-resign kami ni Mel, who was that time boyfriend ko pa lang, nag-resign kami, we created our own thing. Even then, nangangapa kami. Kasi, syempre, hindi kami familiar with everything that had to do with creating a business. So, we banked on the skills that we had.
Okay.
So, yun na yun. We had our first client. November kami nang-resign. December, we had our first client. April, we reached our first 100,000. By April. Matagal yun, actually.
Wait lang ulit.
Tingnan mo.
December,
December kami nakakuha ng first client.
first client.
Mm-mm.
Okay. And then,
April
April.
kami
After
nakahit
4
ng
months, 100K pesos.
pesos. Oo.
Okay, okay.
So, yung December kasi, nung November kasi, we started parang serving our friends for free. 10 of our friends. Binigyan namin sila ng visual identity para magkaroon lang kami ng portfolio.
Oh.
So, when we got our first client, meron kaming napakita.
Okay.
So, first client namin, 15,000 pesos.
Okay. And yung pag-client, how long are you working with a client?
Nung time na yon, longer than we wanted to. No, kasi ano siya like 15,000 pesos, pero it took like 4 to 6 weeks for us to finish. So, syempre, pag 15,000 pesos, parang for the two of us, mas mababa yun sa ina-earn namin sa ahensya.
Mm-hmm.
Pero after namin matapos yun, tapos nakita namin siya, it was a cafe in Maginhawa. Nakita namin siya na mount, parang wow. It's like a sense of pride, you know what I mean? So, after that, na ano namin, na medyo may mga bagay sa first namin na client na, okay, we know that having early revisions is not something that we want.
Okay.
We know that we should have like a down payment in our contract. We know that we should have... So, all of the things that we didn't want, all of the things that makes it seamless for us and for the client, nilagay namin sa kontrata.
Mm-hmm.
So, in-improve namin yung kontrata namin until we got better and better at it. By April, we hit our first 100,000. That was 2015. A year later, 2016, we hit our first million. Doon kami nakakuha for the first time ng isang project lang worth, to be exact, 1,025,000.
Wow. Okay.
So, yun na yun. So, everything
and
super
itong
stacking.
1 million at 25, it's the same project? I mean, it's the same duration of a project, ganyan?
No. It's called the blanket purchase agreement.
Mm-hmm.
So, ibig sabihin, lahat ng kailangan nila na mga materials or mga bagay, it's an entire contract worth 1.25 million. And, ibibigay nila sa amin as long as it's under that scope.
Mm-hmm.
And that contract was good for an entire year.
Oh, okay.
Ganon.
Okay.
Tapos, ang nakakatawa dito, we were the smallest agency who bid in that. And when I say smallest agency, it was just the two of us. Tapos yung mga kalaban namin, mga malalaking ahensya, sabi namin, and what was actually really good about this, and this is something that I would encourage every freelancer, every creative entrepreneur out there to do, is when you go to networking events, when you go to networking sessions, when you even participate in a course that has a cohort, has a group, magpakabibo kayo.
Mm-hmm.
Kasi yung ginawa namin. We knew we wanted to be in the branding space. We wanted to learn more about branding. So nag-invest kami ng 60,000 pesos to learn parang 3 days about personal branding.
Dito sa Pilipinas?
Dito sa Pilipinas, but the speaker was JT Fox. So, like he was working with people like 50 Cent, mga ganun yung mga. So, nag-learn kami from him. Nagpakabibo talaga ako dun. So, pag nagsabi siya na, okay, raise your hand. I'm gonna raise my hand, I'm gonna go ask a question.
Okay.
Ganon. O, sa sample lang ko kayo, raise your hand. I'm gonna give you one-on-one coaching right now. Raise your hand. I raised my hand. Kahit na, even if, I knew I was bound to make a mistake, wala. Actively seek discomfort. Ganon. So, when we did that, people saw us. And that was a room filled with like CEOs. It's a room filled with all of those people. Ano nangyari? At the end of that, people knew that we were in design, we were in branding, we had, may kami sa videos, may experience kami sa videos and all of that. Nilapitan kami. It took one person, nalapitan kami. And that was the person who told us na, hey, you wanna bid for this? Sige. Wala naman tayong malulus eh. Wala naman tayong malulus. Liit-liit natin eh. Kung makuha natin to, hindi. Patuloy tayo. Nakuha namin. Kami yung nanalo in the room full of like bigger agencies. Kami yung nanalo. Naalala ko pa yon kasi we were at Regina Rosari in Antipolo. Sabi namin, Lord, bigay mo na sa amin to, bigay mo na sa amin to. The very next day, tinawagan kami. By the way, you guys, as in, umiyak ako kay Mel. Sabi ko, oh my God, nakuha natin sila. And yung client na yun was USAID.
Wow.
USAID yung nakuha namin. And yun yung nanganak. Naging clients namin yung mga cities nila. Naging clients namin, doon kami natuto ng communication strategy. When we learned the strategic side, that's when our revenue went from here to plateau to up there. Gumanon siya because
And it took you how many years to see that boost?
to see the boost, 2016, 17, 18. So 2018, that was about around 4 years.
Okay.
To
4
see the
years into the
strategic side.
business.
4 years into the business, we started to be exposed to the strategic side of things. So, communication strategy. 2018 was when we got Marawi City as a client.
Mm-hmm.
So, doon namin nakita, parang, kasi we went down there eh. We went on ground. Hindi kami nakapasok sa ground zero mismo kasi bawal. Pero when we went there, sinabi namin, oh my gosh, kailangan natin seryosohin to. Hindi to dapat na we're just, throwing concepts on the wall, seeing what sticks.
Mm-hmm.
Because literally, people's lives were on the line. So, kinabahan kami nun. Nabahan kami, sabi ko, oh my gosh, kaya ba namin to? Excuse me. Ayun, sabi ko, oh my gosh, kaya ba natin to?
Mm-hmm.
We made many mistakes that during that project. Pero when it ended, when we were able to roll it out that project took 3 years to complete.
Okay.
3 years. 3 years. Pero kami nag-thesis 3 times.
Mas mahaba pa sa thesis.
Mas mahaba pa sa thesis. Parang kami nagtatlong thesis. So, all of those things na-incorporate namin sa namin ngayon. So, the way that we do things, the way that we strategize communication. So, right now, it's not, nalaman namin na when you grow a creative business, it's not about getting more clients. It's about increasing the value of your clients. So when we say we increase the value of our clients, you also increase the value that you give to them. So when you make yourself more valuable, when you super stack these skills, you learn the strategic side, you learn the business side of things, you learn what's important to the client, and then you're able to deliver that to them confidently because you've super stacked these skills in the last 8 to 10 years. So, tumataas yung value mo as a service provider. Tumataas din yung value na kaya mong ibigay sa kanila. Then, you're able to work with less clients for more money. That's how you grow a creative business.
Wow. Well, that's a jam-packed story. And parang andito pa lang tayo sa first few clients na share mo. I'm sure you sa 10 years experience mo, ang dami mo na din talagang lessons from it. But thank you so much for sharing that story. I think it just gives entrepreneurs that light na talaga pwedeng magsimula from zero and also build a business from it.
Yeah.
And right now the business is doing well.
Yeah.
And what's the highest, if you don't mind? Like what's the highest revenue or
revenue that we got?
You did in a year.
It was 8 figures. We have 7-figure years, we have 8-figure years. We started with 6-figure years. So the highest revenue I think we got was around 12-13 million.
Wow.
But that's because we were able to charge 3 million per client.
Damn.
So
3 million per client. So you're only working with 4 clients, then okay ka na.
Okay na. Oo. So nung time actually na yon, hindi kami nagwo-work with 4 clients na ganung level kasi medyo maano yun eh. Medyo nakakapagod yun. Strategic work yun eh. So, nililimit lang namin yung number of clients. And then we also have one-off projects that we charge like $30,000-$40,000 per project. So, nandun yun. I mean, people will say that, oh my gosh, sana all, ganung level, ganun. But it's work. It takes a lot of work.
How did you get the parang, come on, we live in the Philippines, diba? And I think one of the biggest taboos here, even lalo na pag creative ka, is like raising your rates. At least from the side where I grew up in. How did you get to say na, you know what, we're gonna charge 7 digits, 1 million, 2 million, 3 million? Like, what was that moment na parang, yeah, we deserve that. We deserve that rate, ganyan.
Well, kasi one of the common misconceptions about the creative industry is charge your worth.
Diba? Yeah.
Charge your worth.
Kasi sabihin ko na 1 million, I feel
I feel like I'm worth.
like I'm worth. Kasi I deserve. I'm God's
I'm God's champion. I'm God's favored, ganyan.
Diba? So sabihin ko, worth ko 1 million. But how do you like be like ethically do that?
Well, so ganito siya. It's when you say you charge based on worth, it's not based on your worth. It's based on the value or the worth to the client. So, ibig sabihin, pag sinabi ko na kasi whether you charge 15,000 or 15 million, you have worth.
Okay.
Let's just establish na innate yun eh. Worth is innate. But, in terms of what clients are willing to pay, kailangan confident ka na kaya mo silang bigyan ng ROI. Kasi you want to be seen as an investment eh. So kung sasabihin na kung i-compare natin siya sa investment speak, you have to position yourself as least risky option. Yun yung lagi kong natutunan ko to from like 3 mentors. 3 mentors. You have to assess if you're worth parang you're a risk worth taking. Diba? Parang love lang. Char. Diba? But for example, we've had, and this is something na hindi ko masyadong fineflex, hindi ko alam kung bakit. But we've had 3 clients who reached a billion mark. Billion in pesos.
Because you you work with them.
Yeah, when we worked with them.
The billion mark.
Nagano sila, one of them got 300 qualified leads in one night, put them on the road to 1 billion in sales. We worked with a city na nagkaroon ng 27.55 billion in investments. Nag-work kami with a creator an education system na I don't know kasi kung billion yung yung equivalent nun. But dollar. And then nakapag-work din kami with, for example, a Filipino company na nag-report sa akin after we parang rehashed their site and all of that. 35 million in 1 hour. So, you're able to produce results. It's not magic. It's not magic. It's strategy. No, but the thing is, if you're confident that you can get those results for them, they're willing to pay like 10-20% of that. So, let's say, kaya mo ang target nila is to have $1 million in sales.
Okay.
They would be willing to pay $100,000 to you to make them $1 million in sales.
Yeah.
Rather than hindi sila mag-invest and then mag-expect sila ng parang jump in their revenue. So, it's very important for entrepreneurs to think like entrepreneurs. Kasi creative entrepreneurs, we tend to think like creatives. We don't think like entrepreneurs. Diba? So, in order for you to charge more, example, 7 figures, you need to know how to produce 8 figures for them. You need to know how to 10x their money. Yun yung sinabi sa akin ng isang mentor ko na, don't sell services, you sell money. When you say sell services, I think I touched on this in one of my videos. When you sell services, you're selling copywriting. When you sell money, I can double your conversion rates with my copywriting. You're selling money. So, mas kanino mag-i-invest?
Do you guarantee that?
No.
Okay.
No. We don't guarantee. We guarantee the process. We don't guarantee the results. So
Okay.
when we say we guarantee the process, we're gonna do whatever it takes to help you get to this level. But we might also require some work from you. We need to do an assessment first of your audience. We need to do an assessment of what has worked in the past, what didn't. So, parang when you position yourself as a least risky option, dapat nakikita nila na, ay, may capacity pala sila to do this kasi nagawa nila sa ibang clients before. May capacity sila to 10x my leads. May capacity sila to do this. So, pag alam nila, nakikita nila yun sa social proof mo, nakikita nila yun in the way that you communicate.
Okay.
Kahit sa lahat ng different touch points mo, dapat nakikita nila yun. Hindi lang sa marketing. And that's the mistake a lot of creative entrepreneurs make. They stop with the marketing touch point. They start with closing the invoice. They stop with closing the invoice. What about the service? Parang, are you actually getting the results that the clients want or not? If you're not getting the results that the clients want, it's not gonna be a sustainable. It's not gonna be a long-term business. It's not gonna be growing. Are you willing to super stack these skills? And when I say super stack these skills, are you willing to make the mistakes to actually hone the skill? Kasi ganun yun eh. You're as an entrepreneur, you're actively seeking discomfort eh.
I love that.
You're actively seeking the mistakes.
Ganda.
That's it. So, and for us as Filipinos, we're afraid of failure. We're afraid of making mistakes.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't say I blame mindsets. Sometimes it's a cultural thing, di ba?
When you say it's a cultural thing, what do you mean by that?
For example, when you it's hard for Filipinos to pursue excellence if they don't have the environment to do so. So, kunyari, pupunta ka sa laylayan, 'di ba? Sometimes it's hard for people to pursue excellence if they can't even eat 3 meals a day. It's hard for some people to pursue excellence if they're in an environment where their families are toxic, where their families are pushing them in one direction. So, ang daming levels kasi na we have to get into the grassroots of changing people's mindsets.
Yeah.
And it's a cultural, any kind of cultural change is tough. It's challenging. So we can't just tell people na, kaya hindi ka nagiging excellent dahil tamad ka. Hindi siya ganun eh.
Meron ako nakitang video online. I think nag-viral siya. Parang, pili ka. Yan, mahirap ka or dito ka mayaman ka. Kasi bin-highlight niya yung mga mahirap. But I guess you're making a really good point na it's hard to go for success if you're on your survival mode. Right?
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
The culture really plays a huge part. But alam mo yun, at the end of the day, I think it's really about I think that's my question. If let's say na hirap ka nga andito tayo sa Pilipinas, diba? Medyo mahirap talaga, lalo na if you're starting from scratch. How do you climb your way up to your potential?
Well, that's the thing eh. Sinabi ko before in a talk, there's someone who asked the same question. Sabi ko, meron kasing dalawang challenges na nakita ko dyan. First is, people are not aware na there's a higher level to what they want to attain. They're not aware of the path. So, for example, yung mga nanay or mga tatay na sinabi na, mag-nursing ka. Diba? The path is familiar. The path, the success path is familiar. Kasi si Maring, nag-abroad ganyan. Yeah. It's familiar. They know it. But, pag sinabi natin na sa creative pursuit, parang, ang gagawin mo dyan? Diba?
Di nila
I mean, sometimes, they really want the best for us.
Yeah.
It's just it's unfamiliar territory.
Okay.
Right? So, kunyari, mga nasa laylayan or is eating 3 meals a day.
Okay.
They don't know what's beyond that. For them, eto na yun, basta makakain ako. Hindi na familiar sa kanila yung beyond that.
Okay.
Pwede pala to. Pwede pala ako magganyan.
So you show it to them, or you at least they need to have at least an experience that meron pala.
Or they need to be exposed to possibilities. And what does that? It's education. Education exposes them to the possibilities of that. The second is that people are familiar. They know that there's a path. They're not familiar with navigating the path. So, kunyari, sasabihin mo na, gusto ko maging video editor. O sige, alam natin kung ano kailangan natin aralin para maging video editor.
Yeah.
Pero paano ka mag-make money out of that? Paano ka magiging successful from there? Kasi, nursing, mag-aral ka, mag-internship ka, I think sa doctor itong sinasabi ko, internship, may residency, tapos kung gusto mo mag-specialize ka, 'di ba there's a very clear path to that.
You don't need a lot of navigating na. You just go
It's
there.
familiar It's I mean, I'm not saying it's linear, but it's familiar.
Okay.
Sa creative industry, hindi pa siya ganun ka-familiar for people. There's so many possibilities. And then, most of the time, as creatives, minsan, multi-passionate tayo. Parang, saan ba ako lulugar? Kailangan ko mag-find ng niche. Yung mga ganun, di ba? And there's an abundance of information on the internet. So, we're not sure. So, those are the two parang main things na nakita ko na parang gaps na hindi natin na-pursue yung potential natin.
Because of those things.
Most of the time, it's unfamiliarity. So, how do we fix that? It all boils down kasi to education eh. And the education that we have right now, sorry to say, it's a broken system.
Yeah.
So, we're not open to disrupting it just yet. Pero nandito tayo, we have like edu creators like you and me and everybody, everybody who's in the edu creation space. It's not yet deep enough. So that's what we want to that's what we want to achieve. We want to teach people the possibility of this.
Wow.
But we want to also teach people that, hey, you know what? This is gonna take hard work. If you want to play the long game, if you want to be successful in this, you gotta know what skills to have. You gotta super stack these skills. You have to be willing to push yourself to, actively seek discomfort. Ganun talaga siya eh. There's no way around it eh.
I love that. Thank you so much. And thank you guys for being here. So many things that I'm learning right now. But we'll be back after the short break. Hey guys, we're still here. And we're still with Kia. Nabubulol na rin ako. Sarap kasi nung kape eh. But yeah, again, we're just diving into the details, and we just ran like a quick master class on like how to do that. But I guess I have two questions. Number one would be, well, this is basically the first series of questions. The first one is, you're talking about strategies, right? If let's say that you're gonna be talking to someone who has 0 followers, what's the best strategy to get to 10,000 followers?
Just start. Honestly, that's it. Kasi a lot of people overthink this eh. Parang, wala kasi akong niche.
Yeah.
Why are people gonna listen to me? Ganon.
Wala akong camera.
Wala akong camera. I mean, you got your phone? Maybe you got a message to tell? Just open your mouth and do it, di ba? Kasi, when you're starting with 0 followers, basically, whatever platform it is that you choose to be, you start with one topic. One topic, and for you to determine what topic you want to focus on. What is something na, ito yung usual na ina-ask ko sa mga students ko. There's a TED Talk. Nawala yung speaker. Hindi nila mahanap yung speaker. Lalapitan ka nila, hey, can you talk about this for 30 minutes nang walang preparation? What are you gonna talk about? What will make you say yes? So, think about that. And if you're passionate, kasi it doesn't, when people establish a personal brand online, when they start, having a digital footprint online, it's not always, parang hindi naman kailangan na all the time it's about what you do. Sometimes it's, what do you think? What stories do you have to tell?
Okay.
Diba? Kasi, when I started out on TikTok, nag-start ako with Here's a lighting hack. Ganyan
yeah.
ba? Lighting hack. What should you say on video? It wasn't until like 80 plus videos later na nagpost ako about it was a motivational piece. Doon ako nag-boom.
After 80 videos.
After 80 videos. I was just consistently posting for After 80 videos, boom, nagano siya. I tried to replicate it. Like the same production, ganyan. Didn't work as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, ang na-realize ko dun, when you're trying to grow a following, when you're trying to grow an audience, you have to share something that they care about.
Mm.
That's it eh. I mean, you care about this stuff so much. Why?
Mm.
The thing na, yung answer mo dun sa TED Talk question. You care about this so much. Why? And most of us, we will think about that question in a more introspective way. Na parang, why do I think this is important? Why do I think na kailangan ma-share to? Why do I think na ganun? But we never think of it as, why is this important to people? Why will people find this valuable? We don't ask those questions at the get-go eh. So we need to ask those questions also. So you put something out there. You put something out there again. You put something out there again. Usually, people find traction after like 80 to 100 videos.
Yeah.
You just put things out there. You, may nakita ka na piece of content, you resonated with it, share your thoughts about it. Diba? You saw a quote. Oy, this quote hit me big time kasi ganito. Ganito yung naging experience ko eh. Ito yung natutunan ko, kaya I resonated with this quote so much. So those thoughts that you have, the niche kasi it will find you eh.
Wow.
The niche will find you. Why? When you create parang when you start to create a niche, yung sinasabi natin na powerful and profitable na niche,
yeah,
you do that in collaboration with your audience. It's not just something that dito ako magko-concentrate.
So good.
I'm gonna concentrate on video production.
Yeah.
I'm
This is
gonna
what I want,
concentrate
what I want,
this
what
is
I
just
want.
what I want. Pero what really makes people unique is themselves. There's nothing like them in the world. Kakadating lang nung book ko na Psycho-Cybernetics.
It's the number one book that our mentor, Coach Russ, yun lang yung book na nire-recommend niya sa akin.
Freaking amazing. I have it in my Kindle. Sabi ko, hindi pwedeng wala akong physical copy ng book na to.
Talaga? Okay.
I have to read it again and highlight stuff. Yun. So, I mean, if you guys are diving into personal branding, that is the book. So, the Psycho-Cybernetics, sinabi nila na, you are not inferior, you are not superior, you are simply you. That's all you need to be different from anyone else.
Wow.
Kasi wala naman talagang katulad mo eh. So, something that I also learned from Gabor Mate. He's an ADHD na parang he's para siya, what do you call this? He's a thought leader in terms of ADHD. He's a doctor also. Parang sabi niya, what makes you different is not your truth. You can have the same truth as someone else. If we apply that to creative entrepreneurship, you can be a social media manager the same as someone else.
Yeah.
You can be a social media manager that serves coaches and consultants. It can be the same as someone else.
Yeah.
That's not a niche. Okay.
Yeah, people think na when you say niche, I'm a video editor, that's my niche. No, it's not that.
Or I'm a video editor for thought leaders.
Yun yung niche
I mean,
nila.
it doesn't stop there. It's a niche, but it
okay.
doesn't stop there. But what really makes you truly unique is how you arrive to that truth. What shaped your perspectives? What shaped your thoughts? What shaped your experiences? You look at things differently than another person.
The journey toward to that point.
Yeah.
It's what makes it unique.
It's what makes you unique. It's the process that makes you unique. It's your thought process. Kaya nga, when I teach branding to people, it's not, di ba meron tayong USP, unique selling proposition, unique value proposition.
Yeah.
For me, it's the UTP, the unique thought process.
Wow.
I mean, how did you arrive to this conclusion? Why did you make the choices that you made? So the reason why most of the time, why people will hire you, while people will sign up to your programs, will look to you as a mentor or as a coach, it's because they resonate with the thought process that you have. When you share that online and you're not just concentrating, kasi yung educational stuff about, kunyari, how to set up lighting, how to do, how to, all of those educational stuff, you can find it in textbooks. You can find it in, diba? You can find it in other people. You can find it in the internet. Tanong mo lang si Bing Chat or si ChatGPT, they will give you an answer. What makes you different? The reason kung bakit sobrang gusto ko tong water bottle na to is inakyat ko yung Himalayas at na-sustain ako ng water bottle na to. It's the stories that come with what you're it's the journey, it's the story, it's the experience that you have.
Wow.
So it gives you an additional perspective.
That will set you apart.
Yeah.
From everyone else's.
Yeah. Yeah. Kasi ikaw lang yung may ganung perspective eh.
Okay.
Sometimes we think na ano naman i-share ko na that hasn't been shared before. Maybe it has been shared before, but they haven't heard it the way you have. They haven't heard it the way that you share it. Mm-mm. So bakit ka matatakot?
Are you also saying na everyone can be a creator?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Everyone can be a creator. Even whether you show your face or not, you can be a creator. Everyone, I always operate on the premise na everybody is creative. That creativity is innate.
Talaga? Okay.
Kasi, observe.
So, hindi mo pwede, parang you don't believe na pag may mga tao, hindi ako creative.
Oo.
Walang taong hindi creative.
Walang taong hindi creative. Kahit na sabihin mo, hindi kasi ako creative, nasa accountancy ako. Oh, creative ka sa numbers.
Okay.
We have different creativities eh. We have different potentials. Malalaman mo yan kasi pag nakita mo ang baby, the way that they, syempre, I've been through 2 babies. Makikita mo the way that they explore things, the way that they create things. All you have to do is push those creativities forward eh. Sila na yung pipili kung saan nila gusto mag-concentrate. So when we talk about creativity, people think arts, people think visual, people think music, yung ganyan. It's not. Creativity is simply it's simply the way that you solve problems. That's it. So you can solve problems with numbers. You can solve problems with, I don't know, electrical engineering,
And be creative with it, diba?
Diba?
Okay,
that's creativity. It's basically your ability to create.
Love that.
Everybody
Thank you so much for sharing that.
Creativity.
That was so much value. I love it. Now I wanna maybe get into a little bit of a personal story.
Yeah.
I'm super interested in this, and something that I really saw was the success of your Likha summit last year.
Yeah.
And then you ran it again this year. But things didn't go quite as planned. What happened?
Well, thank you for that wonderful question. Ganon. No, well, last year kasi we had 3 partners. So, no, we didn't have 3 partners. There were 3 of us who partnered for that event. And then, nung time na yon, we were able to make it, parang nagkaroon kami ng magandang price point. It was a pilot run. It was the first time in I think 4 years that Chris Do was coming back to the Philippines. So, naging maganda yung takbo niya because it was something that people were anticipating for a long time.
Yeah.
The economic challenge last year was not so, it wasn't as great and as heavy as this year, yung economic challenge. The themes there were simple. It was easy for people to digest. Basically, there were some kinks na nangyari last year na feeling namin kaya naming ma-address this year. So, in a nutshell, ang daming nangyari, ang dami namin din lessons learned from last year. Including, picking the right partners. And then,
which is maybe the most important decision.
One of the most important decisions ever. But when we ran it again this year, so syempre, nag-step out na yung isang partner namin. And then, our other partner, nag-concentrate din on her agency. So, it was basically just our company running Likha Summit this year.
Okay.
So, nung time na yon, nakita ko yung need to concentrate on the creator economy because it was a booming business. Kumbaga, nasa early adoption stage tayo sa Pilipinas. So, sabi ko, kailangan natin tong concentratean. And so, we did our pricing, we did all of that. Nag-roll out kami nung March. We had a good influx of sign-ups nung first, and then it started to plateau. Sabi ko, bakit? Nung time pa na yon, I was pregnant. Sabi ko, gawin natin. Hindi, kaya ko pa rin yan i-push. Manganganak ako ng June. Tapos sabi ko, nung time na yon, talagang impulse, talagang sige, i-push natin, kaya yan. Yan. And then, I was wondering why people weren't signing up as fast as last year's. Mm-hmm. So, my mistake there was, that was the loudest sign na siguro dapat i-halt natin to. Dapat wag na muna natin tong ituloy kasi there's not enough interest. Dapat early pa lang, kinat na namin muna siya. Pero pinush ko siya ng pinush. Okay. Sabi ko,
pinush mo siya ng pinush kasi
I really believed in the event. Okay. I really I wanted to make it happen. Na-realize ko din towards the end when we had to cancel it because of low interest nga. Na-realize ko din na number one, I was not in my top shape. Syempre, I was pregnant. Postpartum, like, takes 7 years. So, nasa middle ako of that whirlwind when everything was happening. So, hindi ko, yung the decisions that I would have made better if I wasn't pregnant, parang, tinos ko siya aside. Kasi syempre, being pregnant, it messes with your, it messes also with your decision making, with your mind, and especially postpartum. Cesarean pa ako, di ba? So, with all of those things happening, and I think, I'm not afraid to admit that it was also my own ego na sabi ko, hindi, kaya ko yan i-push. Kaya ko naman yan i-push eh. Kaya ko naman yan.
Nagawa naman to last year eh.
Nagawa naman to last year. So parang, inano namin sa past success. Nag-bank kami on past success. We failed to take into account present circumstances. So syempre, yung likha ngayon, mas mahal. Mas marami kaming gustong gawin. So we pushed it too far too soon. So after that, we had to parang when I realized na talagang hindi to mag-work, masyadong malaki yung magiging loss natin. Kinat namin siya like a week before it was a week or like a couple of days actually before Chris was scheduled to fly in. Sabi ko, I talked to him. Sabi ko, Chris, I have to cancel it. The interest is not enough. And then he called me like when we were talking on the phone, like I was crying. Tapos sinabi niya sa akin, yeah, I can feel you crying. I can hear your soul crying. Sabi niya sa akin. And then, Chris is one of my truth sayers. So he would say na, I don't know why you kind of have a history of making like bad business decisions when it came to Likha. Because last year it was, picking the wrong partner. And then, a couple of mishaps along the way. And then this year, parang, sinabi niya like, yeah, do you even know your own body? I mean, I know that when people are pregnant, they kind of don't want to do anything, and you're like in the middle of this whole thing.
My biggest spotlighted event.
Yeah, it's a huge event.
Gawin natin siya during my pregnancy.
and that time kasi, nag-push ako because people nung the first Likha, they were saying na, uy, kailangan natin ng 2023. Kailangan natin next year. We need to do something next year. Ganyan. And then, the same people, they were like, hindi ako makaka-sign up. And then, sinabi ko sa sarili ko nung time na yan, kayong magsasabi na mag-mount kami ng event, hindi naman kayo magsa-sign up. But I didn't realize that, the economic challenge is really, really bad these days. And that's where I failed to listen. Na parang, when we canceled it, people started telling me na, you know what, Kia, it was really the perfect event. We just couldn't afford it.
How much did you lose?
North of 4 million pesos.
Wow.
4 million plus. Yeah. So, north of 4 million. Nung unang kinalculate namin, it was like 3.5 million. And then, tinake namin into account yung last year. Last year kasi, it was supposed to be profitable. Pero, we had a partner who went rogue. And then, so we had to, kami, yung company namin yung nag-cover dun sa loss. So, that was about 1 million then. So, combining the two efforts, so I would say around 4.5 million then.
Wow.
So, that's the period of recovery that we're in. So, again, kanina we were talking, before the break, we were talking about, 6-8 figures, ito ganito yung mga yung mga kailangan mong gawin. The real road of entrepreneurship, kasama to. And it really takes a lot of character building to be resilient in times of recovery.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I'm not afraid to admit na nung time na kailangan namin i-cancel, kami ni Mel, nagkulong kami sa kwarto, umiyak lang kami. Kasi sabi na, paano natin to aanuhin? Paano natin to babawiin? Na naglo-look forward ako na after the summit, medyo magpapahinga tayo, kasi ganyan. The fruits na dito natin, binuhos lahat ng efforts natin in the past year. Nag-let go kami ng client work para maka-focus dito. Paano tayo magsisimula? So, we needed to let everything out. We needed to parang cleanse ourselves of all of the negative thoughts, lahat ng mga questions and doubts namin. We needed to cleanse it out together. And then, after that, sige, a lot of people opened up their spaces for us. So, yung mga tao na hindi namin in-expect, biglang nag-show up na, Kia, you wanna jump on a call with me? You want to, gusto mo pag-usapan natin? Tulungan namin kayo to manage your debt, stuff like that.
Really?
Nagana talaga sila, nag-open up.
And because
nag-open up sila.
you shared this online as well.
I shared it. I shared it online na, hey, you know what, we needed to cancel it. Nasa period of recovery kami ngayon. We're at a 7-figure loss, ganyan. We also had to explain to the people that we needed to refund na it might take a while kasi yun nga nasa period of recovery. People are most people are very understanding about it. There are some who are like, well, your loss is not my problem. May mga ganun kaming na-receive sa email. So, sabi ko, I mean, I understand where they're coming from, of course. And it's also our responsibility. It's our due diligence to do that. So, ang sinabi sa amin ni Chinky Tan, who also took us under his wing, he said, only thing you can do now is take it one step at a time. One day at a time. Ano yung pinaka pwede nyong gawin right now, let's go na you have control over, na, something you can sell, something you can, something that can generate income for you, para makastart kayo to recover this. So, dun kami nag-focus. That's where we focused all of our efforts. We asked, again, ma-pride kasi ako eh. I usually don't like to ask for help unless I have a solution na.
Mm-hmm.
So, isa din yun sa mga nagiging sakit ko. And then, yun na yun. From what happened with Dika, I think, pinayagan siya na mangyari sa amin.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of lessons that we will not have learned otherwise.
What's the biggest one?
The biggest one, there's so many biggest ones. There's so many biggest ones. There's so many biggest ones. Pero, all of the entrepreneurs who opened their doors up to us, sinabi nila na, Kia, alam mo, normal yan. Normal yan. Ako nga, 16 million eh. Ako nga, 22 million eh. Ako, nag-lose ako. Meron akong mga kakilala na nag-lose ng 100 million eh. Part yan. Sabi niya, kasi, I think that's, for me, that's the biggest lesson na yung mga adversities na to, it's ano eh, it's very cliche na sasabihin natin na ano yan eh, part yan eh, you know, it's gonna give you ano, the failure is part of
Yeah.
success. It's true, you know, it's true. Nung time na yon, kahit na anong sabihin ng tao sa akin, wala akong pakialam. Kung hindi ako, parang, I was very clouded by the I was very clouded by the shock of it all, na the worry of it all, the anxiety of it all. Pero at the end of the day, sinasabi ko na, you know what? We look for an what do you call this? For an improvement of problems. So, nabasa ko yun. I think that was The Power of Self-Confidence.
Okay.
We look for an improvement of problems. If you want to grow, it's part of growth that you're able to face bigger problems.
Yeah.
Now, this is a 4.5 million peso problem. If you want to grow to, if you want to scale, if you want to grow in your character, to grow in your personal development, the only way that you can face bigger problems head on, and then you can grow bigger in character, in currency. The way for you to grow bigger is that kaya mong i-face yung mga ganito kalalaking problems. Kasi wala kang mabibuild eh. Hindi mo mabibuild yung sarili mo nang hindi mo to fini-face.
Yeah.
So, going back, parang wrapping it up with also what we said before, it's actively seeking the mistake. It's actively seeking discomfort. Failing forward, growing in your failure, and looking for growing failures. Looking for the growing mistakes. Diba? Yung sinasabi nating birthing pains. Yun.
Yeah.
That's it. So, and if anything, yung mga ganitong klaseng adversities, the bigger the challenge, you're going to see people for who they really are.
Wow.
So, when you're starting to speak your truth, you're starting to speak from a place of vulnerability, you're gonna see the people who are there to stay. And not just the fair-weathered friends. Nakita din namin yun. Naging very, very apparent yun sa amin.
Grabe. And I think that's something that you're gonna bring in for the rest of your life then.
Yeah.
Like these people, it's so easy to have people cheer you on when you're winning, but when when the time na andun ka na sa rough patch, dun mo talaga makikita din kung sino yung mga susuporta talaga sa'yo, and itong mga tao to yung maaasahan mo rin like moving forward. And your story with Likha, again, ang ganda lang nung shinare mo na you're now seeking like better problems, like I can say that. But that also gives you the capacity to build your character. Like ang ganda talaga. And I think that's a whole reframe of how people should look at problems. Like looking back in my life, parang naisip ko din, before I was trying to solve a 1 million problem, and then a 2 million problem. Right now I'm solving like, pataas ng pataas. And then I also realized that that's what makes me better.
Yeah.
Yung mga bagay na nakakatakot na i-solve, yung mga bagay na ayoko talagang harapin, but yun yung parang mas grabing pullback, so that when I finally shoot, parang arrow, I fly away. And thank you.
You wanna look for bigger tensions. You wanna look for bigger tensions kasi that's the only way that you get the bigger results. Yeah.
I guess to just wrap this episode up, if there was someone who's like in your spot, and you feel na andun sa point na sobrang dark na talagang even yung mga taong inaasahan na tutulong hindi tumulong, and like the world's just against you, it seems like it's against you, like what one piece of advice would you give them?
Sa akin kasi an open wound, it's easier to heal when an open wound is exposed. So I mean, not everyone is comfortable sharing their stories. But maybe, find a circle, find a community where you can, kahit na anonymous, i-ano mo, i-share mo. So you can, pwede kasing hindi mo i-share lahat ng parts of it, like the private parts of it, it doesn't matter. But the gist of it, you try opening it up to, to people. Kasi you might be surprised kung sino yung lalapit. Yun yung nangyari sa amin eh. You'll be surprised kung sino yung lalapit. Hindi namin expect, for example, Chinkitan to like say, hey, Kia, I'm checking on you. How are you? How can I help? Diba? We didn't expect people like that to just suddenly show up and lend a hand. It's so important for people to also share their vulnerabilities. So, kahit na, kunyari, yung mga tao na inasahan mo, hindi sila nag-show up. Is it because maybe there might be the factor na hindi sila, baka tinatansya nila kung magre-reach out ba sila sa'yo o hindi. Are you in a place where you're ready to talk? Yung ganon. Sometimes, you have to be the ones to reach out. You have to be the one to reach out. You have to find your own light. So, if you can't find it in you right now, you look for someone with a candle. Diba? So, most of the time, no matter how dim or bright, everybody has a candle.
Yeah.
you wanna look at it metaphorically like that. Everybody has a candle. It's all about you reaching out to them.
Yeah.
Now, it's up to them if they're gonna respond or not. If they don't respond, then you know.
Yeah.
If they respond, then you have help.
Yeah. Love that.
It goes in both ways.
Wow.
So, lie in with yourself, feel your feelings. Na-learn ko to kay Brother Bo Sanchez. Feel your feelings and then let go. Kasi you can't let go of what you have not held.
Wow.
So, feel it and then start reaching out to people. Hey, I need help.
Wow.
Kailangan ko tulong.
Thank you so much for just also reminding us that it's really okay to not be okay, and
Yeah.
it's also okay to ask for help.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Kia. I
Thank
had a wonderful time, and this is just an amazing conversation that I'm sure that a lot of people as well got so much value. Thank you for hosting us. Thank you for allowing me to set up a small studio here. Na sobrang nakakatuwa. Thank you so much. And